Hey yo, trading addicts, what's going on? This is Option Addict here with another market wrap-up, another market wipe, another market redo. So day 2 in my recording software on the Fritz. What should be a simple process is becoming a very, very difficult task to accomplish. So I apologize for the difficulties, and I'm just kind of winging a quick video here just to kind of give you an idea of what we discussed earlier this afternoon on TA Live. So, last night's video that I posted, that was all content we talked about during the day, and with, Japan kind of melting lower at their open, overnight, most of the things we discussed quickly became irrelevant, because futures got absolutely murdered last night. And, looking at where we're at here today, I mean, Japan's in a much different scenario, as opposed to how they're trading here this evening. And the S&Ps today, just to quickly wrap up, ran down beneath that 1275 level that we talked about as a reference point. Futures are kind of hanging out around that level right now, and that was the level that I wanted to see touched. And now at the same time, off the open, we registered some pretty significant oversold levels, which I think are something to keep in the back of your mind. Where we stand right now is we're pretty oversold. A little bit lower, and I'd be saying buy with both hands here, but not quite yet. Okay, so to me, I can't quite say this feels like a tradable bottom, but it looks like it's getting pretty close. We're registering some pretty oversold levels, and I would tell you right now that the downside risks are definitely pretty small from here, from what it seems, and that upside risks have increased significantly, according to the McClellan. Keeping that in mind, some of the stocks today that we focused on, Eric talked a lot about these during TA Day, and I hit these on TA Live. But Freeport McMoran, the same names we talked about yesterday to look for divergences were absolutely on fire today. And, those stocks that were kind of sold off and oversold, the oversupply of these names heading into today was a perfect opportunity for them to stop and reverse. Freeport McMoran, I think, is probably the best indication of that. It hasn't broken out of this bearish channel yet, but we kind of set this up as an idea off the open and saw some pretty good rotation into that. Not only that, but some of the ag stocks that we had talked about yesterday, like Mosaic, same thing. They all traced inside days yesterday and into weakness today. It just seems like they didn't want to give it up. And so that's what we're watching for down here around these price levels in the S&Ps, is to look and see what stocks are diverging. A lot of people got into that Freeport McMoran long here today. I sent out an alert, and I took a position here in Mosaic, trying on some calls. So I haven't hit it really hard and given the all-out signal to to buy the dip to get all in here. But I've been nibbling over the last couple of days. Up until this point has proven a little bit unsuccessful, but like I said, I think we're getting closer to that point where we might have a tradable low. A couple of other things that you want to watch out for here are the VIX. VIX traded in a really wide range today, so popped up huge at the open beyond this 23 level, traced right back down to it, and closed above it. That, I think, is significant, and I keep pounding the table on this level right through here, which has kind of been a historical mean over the last year, to see where we are above or below that, and then what that will indicate to us in terms of easeability of trade, market conditions, and overall choppiness. Right now, VIX up above 23, I think, still means difficult market conditions. So I'd like to see us revert back down to some of these lower levels, and when that happens, I don't know. That's why I don't feel completely comfortable with calling this an absolute low or a bottom quite yet. It just doesn't seem like it's all that ready. I think you want to still continue to be patient with this, try some things here or there, keep on some small size, but really be careful until you get an all-out better signal here. The one last thing I would point out would be, and this is what we talked about earlier today, and that's copper prices. If you notice the divergence there into weakness, copper managed to hold last Friday's lows. That reversal pattern that's been setting up still looks really, really good. And short term, we've got all these signals down at depressed levels, and if these lows continue to hold, I want to sit back and wait for copper to really catch a little bit of traction here, which I thought today on the day overall was a pretty bearish signal. If we start to see some traction there, we'll probably get that little multi-day lift to help reset some of these some of these equities right here, get them up a little bit, make them easier to short, just provide a little bit of variety and bring in some better signals and some better setups. So that's where we're at, guys. We talked a little bit more about some of the sector rotation going on today. I mean, really, it was off the open. It was all solar stocks. The home builders had a monster reversal off the open, as did a lot of things. So pick and choose. Look for stocks that held up reasonably well. I had tried during TA day a couple of longs in Rubicon, and those option spreads just got way out of control. I found myself chasing and ended up not getting the fill. A lot of people got into this here today, though, off the watch list, which looks really good. The other was pay. It was evident right off the open that they were buying this sucker up, and they were buying it, big time. And another one could not get a fill in those options. So, my fault in not getting those. Quite a few people actually did. And they managed to front run me and get ahead of me in there a little bit, but all that matters here is that we're still looking for good stuff, getting good trades, and we still have good ideas flowing in the day-to-day chat. So that's where we're at, guys. It doesn't feel like it's at that exact low yet. I'm curious to see how equities open up tomorrow. I'm still as for right now, keeping things small, trading a little bit as opposed to laying down any positions over longer term time frames, and we'll continue to do that until we get a much clearer and all systems go kind of a signal, which hasn't happened yet. But when it does, I'll let you know. So those are some of the things that we're watching, guys. That's the things we'll carry over into tomorrow. There was some decent stability in stocks. There were some good recoveries there, but all in all, is it enough to really get this market up and move into the upside a little bit? Yeah, maybe a little, but it just still doesn't feel like that like the time is right. So we're going to continue to watch, and maybe tomorrow looks a little bit better. Hopefully it'll provide some good opportunities for us and some stocks to trade. So I'll go ahead and end it at that, guys. Again, I'm open to conducting these market wrap videos each night as opposed to maybe cutting off from the TA live recordings. That could help me transition away from GoToWebinar and maybe open up another Omnovia room that we could be running concurrently along with TA Day. If you're interested in that, hit me with some feedback, let me know. But in the meantime, guys, that's a little bit of a market wrap for you. If you have any questions, you guys know where to find me, and happy trading to you in the morning. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.